Today I fucked up by donating blood, urinating in front of everyone in the mall, and ending up in the ER. Too long didn't read, I gave blood at a local mall. Later, fainted twice, urinated to an audience during unconsciousness, and vomited half a gallon that smelled of the Lindt chocolate I had earlier. Now, I want to die. Disclaimer, this happened hours ago. I have my share of life experiences, but I have not fainted in my 4 decades, not once, let alone twice, and never had a seizure. I have donated blood several times. Enjoy normal health. Story: giving blood is a habit I picked up from my former boyfriend. I look forward to it, especially during this pandemic. I met the min hemoglobin requirement of 12.5 grams/dl for women, mine 12.8. Earlier, I consumed a full meal and 2 Lindt milk chocolate truffles to give myself a sugar boost. The blood drive was inside a mall. I loathe going to the malls, but the schedule worked for me. I had been hydrating, so paid a quick visit to the restroom beforehand. After donating, I waited twice the suggested time to be safe and consumed 3 apple juices in their snack room. I decided to treat myself to the number 5 meal combo at Chick-fil-A, using their app on my iPhone 8 with a 17% charge left. I began my journey to the food court to pick the order on my way to the parking. Suddenly, the hallways started to narrow down to a tunnel vision. My number 5 was ready, but the distance felt like eons away. My body was shutting down. I sat down on the floor while mall goers passed by. After a few minutes of contemplation, I got up, started walking to the blood drive. They would know how to help. But everything became so heavy, slow, and pitch dark. I woke up, first, to darkness, then concerned voices. I began to see mask-covered faces. Some recounted how I fell, how it was a seizure. Some said bring water. Kind strangers helped me slowly get up. I wanted to say thank you, but my tongue became too heavy to conjure up words. I saw a man bringing iced water. That's all I wanted at that moment, so I extended my hand. Then I noticed water on the tiles, in between my feet. How can the glass in his hand remain full while trickling its way in between my feet? I looked at the water in his hands, then the water in between my feet. How could it travel so fast? The physics didn't add up. What was happening, Murph? Everything went black. This time, I woke up to medics who arrived from the local fire station, asking questions to ensure I was still functioning. Answering felt like death. My brain couldn't fathom why bystanders said I had urinated in real time. Why would I do that? Understandably, to their shock, they repeated it a few times until a person said, "Would you guys stop reminding her? Stop embarrassing her. Cover her legs and the leakage." Soon my legs and some of my dignity were covered in sheets. I accepted that I was having a very human moment. The next 20 minutes felt like an eternity. I lay in my piss, pain, and shame in the company of kind strangers. I had fallen for head, teeth, then knee first. An ambulance took me to the ER. During the ride, all I could think was the line from Got, "Men shit themselves when they die." I told this to the medic, and we decided it could be worse, then proceeded to puke my guts out and filled the bag. Never thought I would say this, the scent of Lindt chocolate truffles was strong with this one. By the time I gathered enough awareness and energy, my phone was at 5%. Informed fam. Soon the phone died. A nurse brought me their charger. After the required tests, an IV drip, and a few hours in the ER, I was sent home with benign vasovagal syncope. The nurse asked, "Will this make you stop giving blood?" I thought for a moment and said, "It is too soon to say." We both shared a laugh, and I lived to tell the tale of piss and passing out and wish never to lay eyes on the Lindt truffles again. Edit to add, 1. Thank you for sharing your lived experiences. I am flawed, pun intended. Thanks for your support for my malfunction. Please use your money to donate to the Red Cross instead. 2. Obligatory, English isn't my first language. My bad for not giving you closure on the number 5, I wrote this between naps after returning home. Combo number 5, and I did not become one with the other, it waited alone, sad, in the cold, dark mall. My front teeth are intact, but I still need to see a dentist. My jaw and head hurt. 3. Please don't let this stop you from donating, as it won't stop me. I could have prepared better. I will donate as long as I qualify. 4. I will respond to most of you since I have time. I'm in between jobs and resting in my bed. but bear with me. 5. I am not aware of what happened during the episodes. I went to the mall alone. My brain was fully functioning, just not the rest of the body. I could learn more if there was a mall security video, though I don't know if there's one. My very first time giving blood, I was 17 I think, whatever the lowest age in Illinois is to give blood. Apparently I was really pale while donating, so the lady doing all the poking and whatnot brought me an apple juice during, and I killed that. After I walked over to the refreshment area and sat next to one of my girlfriend's friends, looked over, went to start talking to her and noticed the table was getting awfully close to my head. My head barely hit the table and I was back up as the apple juice from earlier kicked in. They made me sit on a stretcher for 30 minutes. But I got like 4 more apple juices in that time, so all in all it was pretty awesome. If that lady hadn't brought me that first apple juice though, this story could have easily been like yours. I was kind of an idiot as a teenager and was probably chronically dehydrated. Glad you're okay. I found comfort in your story. Except that I'm in my 40s. Shamelessly drank 3 apple juices. Oh man, this is a rough one. I had an experience, not nearly as extreme, a few years ago. After giving blood, I hadn't eaten much, gave blood, ate the requisite cookies and juice, didn't think much of it, and then met up with my friends at the art museum to see the Van Gogh exhibit. It was amazing, but about 20 minutes in, I started feeling nauseous. Now this exhibit was a big deal, so every painting had its own security guard. I can't remember what I was looking at, but I got super dizzy and felt like fainting, and clutched the wall to keep from falling. The security guard immediately yelled at me to step away from the painting. I was so startled, I hurled myself away and found a bench. Things could have been so much worse. I once worked a 30-minute shift at Domino's. I had to go to the hospital on my very first day at work since I passed out, 7 months pregnant, from malnutrition. I passed out at a tattoo shop because I didn't know I was pregnant with aforementioned baby. I also passed out on vial 13 of a blood draw, roughly 1/7 of a pint. Pregnancy messed me up severely. I had no history of passing out prior to this, but I'm now fearful to get blood work done. My wife and I also found at 7 months she was preggo. That was and still is a trip. I think this means you own them all now. I marked my territory, but at what cost? Haha, at least you're a good sport for the unfortunate situation you had after donating blood. Even still had your sense of humor. Thank you. Humor is my coping mechanism. Inside, I'm somewhat mortified. Today I fucked up by ruining my cousin's innocent mind. I, 14F, was talking to my cousin, also 14F, about books, and out of nowhere she just goes, "I honestly can't believe all I need to do is pray." I asked her what the heck she meant, and she said that to become pregnant all you had to do was pray, and that's concerning because if she prayed right now, she'd be pregnant and she didn't think that was right. Apparently, her mother told her that all she did was pray, and then she appeared in her stomach a week later. Now, I just explained to her that that isn't how it works. I just said that not how it works. You just do the thing. And she asked me to elaborate and I did, but with barely any details because I was uncomfortable. Long story short, she decided she no longer wants to get married and refuses to become pregnant and now won't look at her parents, or my parents, or my cousins who did give birth, or our grandparents and aunts and uncles. I think I broke her. Too long didn't read. I explained to my cousin where babies come from and broke her. Edit, I'm really sorry, but everyone is assuming we're American and Christian. We're not. We don't do Christmas. I'm sorry, but I've been getting this a lot. This is called bad parenting. There's nothing wrong with sex and it shouldn't be hidden from your child in the guise of religion. Pray to get pregnant, what a joke. I was thinking that too, so I just told her. Can't believe she actually believed that though. Well, at least you spared her the embarrassment of finding out the hard way one day. Yeah, that's one bright side. You've done the right thing. A child of 14 should know, in gory detail, how the human body works. Sex is part of basic biology, How has she dodged this in science? I have a 14-year-old daughter and she's known since she was around 6 to 7. If it's any consolation, I have a friend who is a nurse at a hospital in Liverpool, England, in a fairly deprived area. A few times over the years she has had young girls turn up with severe stomach bruising around the belly button. Yup, you've guessed it, they were trying to get pregnant. Edit, a lot of folks are asking how and why. Growing up, a basic way of telling a child that you're pregnant in England is simply daddy put a seed in mummy's tummy. Without simple sex ed, girls don't know how that seed gets there, and along comes Kevin, who is no brighter than young Karen, apart from he knows his dick shoots seeds. Together, the uneducated duo proceed to try and procreate by Kevin sticking his knob repeatedly into young Karen's belly button until he fires his seedlings in there. I shit you not, this is more common than you would / could believe. I barely gave any detail, though. I have no clue how she had no clue. Oh my god, that must be rather horrifying to witness. At 14, it's good that you broke her. It's a milestone a lot of us go through. But good job on educating her. Broke her made me laugh, so thank you for that. Glad I did, I guess. This isn't even FU in my opinion. You did this girl a major favor. Can't believe her parents. This is exactly how to get a teen pregnancy to happen. Today I fucked up by taking Viagra. Obligatory. This happened a few weeks ago. Live in DC, and election results are a big deal here. After a week of pure tension, the night after results came in, the entire town turned into a giant, masked, block party with people banging on pots and pans, honking their horns, and popping champagne at 11:30 a.m. Had plans to hang out with a handful of friends that evening on the porch, but now we had reason to celebrate rather than just catch up. On the way to get drinks, I ran into a girl I'd spoken to a few times who always flirted, but nothing ever came of it. Friends filter in, we celebrate, go for a walk, and come back to hang on the porch when I get a text from the girl. She joins us and friends slowly filter out down to just one other guy. At this point it's 2 a.m. and we've been drinking for 7 hours. She invites me over to see her new puppy. Long story short, sparks fly. It's clear where the night is going. I live alone, so she suggests we walk back to mine. We make our way to the bedroom and she asks me to turn the lights off. Between the alcohol and the medication I'm on, it's clear that I'm going to have some trouble tonight. It's happened before with my meds, so I talked to my doctor to get a certain performance-enhancing medication. Tell her, hold on, I've got the cure, give me 20 minutes and ready to go. Grab the pill bottle off my dresser, pop the last 3, and get back to the show. No dice. This isn't happening. Shocked. Edmeds always worked before, but I am wiped. I barely slept for the last 72 hours. Embarrassingly, I start to fall asleep mid-foreplay. She assures me it's totally fine, and that she had a great time otherwise. Next morning, wake up super late and message my doctor to get a refill on both my medications. Trying to remember the generic name for Viagra, so I go to my bedroom to look at the empty pill bottle. Melatonin. Turns out I took 15 milligrams of the sleeping medication, which is 3-5x the recommended dose. Too long, didn't read. Tried to hook up with a girl I fancied, couldn't get a stiffy, thought I took meds to get me up and instead took meds to put me down.